The Great Reset. Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum want you to eat bugs and be happy. Welcome to Truth Duel Official. In this video, you'll learn about the Great Reset and how the globalists want to control the world's economy. You'll want to stick around till the end of this video to learn how to avoid being forced into a global social credit score program. But first, I am your host, Misinformation. If you like this channel, make sure to subscribe to receive more great conspiracy analysis, misinformation analysis, and other sentiments and ramblings that please and amuse us. And become a truth dueler, because only you can slay misinformation at its source. Get our app on truthduel.com. Globalists. Who are they? What are they? And why do they all look like the thumb people from Spy Kids 2? Today, we'll be focusing on one globalist named Klaus Schwab and how he is spearheading the Great Reset. If you don't know what the Great Reset is, be prepared to learn about Klaus's fancy secret Swiss resort parties, a vague plan to change the world's entire economy, and the people allied with him puppeteering the Great Reset. Who is Klaus Schwab? Klaus was born in Switzerland and previously worked as a professor of business at the University of Geneva. During the early 1970s, Klaus founded an organization called the European Management Forum, which was later rebranded as the World Economic Forum. What makes Klaus Schwab a globalist? As defined by the Cambridge Dictionary, a globalist is, quote, someone who believes that economic and foreign policy should be planned in an international way, rather than according to what is best for one particular country, end quote. America's most trusted dictionary, Urban Dictionary, has a more colorful definition, quote, self-righteous wankers that piss uphill and stand downwind, end quote. So much pissing. However, these wankers aren't content to piss up any old hill. They piss on the best hills of them all, the Swiss Alps. During the World Economic Forum conference in the small town of Davos, Switzerland. Davos, not the galactic scourge of planetary freedom from Doctor Who, Davros. Ugh. The annual meeting at Davos is a luxury celebrity party that puts any drunken college bash to shame. There was one year where CEO Mark Benioff flew in fresh flowers from Hawaii, and another time there was stuffed animals with laser eyes that illuminated dancers. So many dancers. However, when they're not partying, a lot of important conversations happen behind closed doors at Davos. Lots of rich and powerful figures attend this conference to do their business away from the scrutinizing public eye. Previous conferences have seen celebrities like Priyanka Chopra Jonas and Greta Thunberg attend, alongside titans of industry such as Bill Gates and Jack Ma. Of course, no super secret elite conference is complete without politicians on the guest list, like Prince William, George Soros, and Donald Trump. And what are the super secret elite conversations happening at this super secret elite Davos conference? The latest conference in 2021 was held under the banner title, quote, The Great Reset, end quote. Klaus Schwab has been focused on his vision for the Great Reset ever since he founded the World Economic Forum. According to Schwab, the Great Reset would shift capitalism from benefiting shareholders to benefiting stakeholders. What are stakeholders, you may ask? Obviously, they're people that hold steak and other assorted meats. Mark Zuckerberg is one of them. He's very interested in brisket and ribs.
Hey everyone. We are live from my backyard where I am smoking a brisket and some ribs. I'm making meats now. Smoking these meats here. Our little meat smoking. It's smoking. So I'm the meat chef.
I'm just kidding. That's not what a stakeholder is, and Zuckerberg has bigger plans for his brisket and ribs. To learn more about Mark's barbecue exploits and his super secret elite virtual reality world, watch Into the Metaverse with Mark Zuckerberg. As defined by Schwab, stakeholders are the backbones of society to whom corporations should serve the interest of, instead of serving shareholders like they currently do. Stakeholders can be customers, employees, even entire communities. Stakeholder capitalism would combine public and private sectors into a partnership that Schwab says would diminish economic inequality.
Now I find a kind of a commitment from all CEOs, from business leaders, politicians. The stakeholder capitalism means including everyone. It's our duty to, by law, it's our duty to look after shareholders, but stakeholder capitalism is also really taking care about environment, taking care about where you act.
Would stakeholder capitalism really diminish economic inequality? Or is it just replacing one broken system with another? The reality is that the World Economic Forum's stakeholder capitalism wouldn't make such a quick escape like Indiana Jones. The most powerful stakeholders, which would be the corporations themselves, would gain greater leverage against democratically elected bodies, such as governments. Actually, the corporations become the giant boulder in this metaphor, and your average citizen better run faster than Harrison Ford. You may be wondering, how is stakeholder capitalism different from the lobbying we have now? Under Klaus's purposefully vague plan, techno giants like Microsoft or Amazon could create a governing body for themselves outside of democracy. This would allow them to slip by antitrust laws, tax evasion, and generally live out their supervillain dreams to their heart's content. Of course, no puppet master would be complete without getting their strings tangled in the COVID-19 pandemic, as Klaus Schwab has. The WEF sees the shifting economic landscape as fertile ground for launching their Great Reset plan. We're running out of time in this video to dive deeply into this, so check out our main channel to learn about the Great Reset and COVID-19. Every good puppet master villain also plays the long game. How long has Klaus Schwab been playing 4D chess with the global economy? It turns out he's been very interested in a Great Reset for a long time. Since 2014, Schwab has been using a variety of synonyms to get his point across. He's used words such as reshaping, reboot, restart, and reset. He's mastered the art that every English student knows. Type a word into thesaurus.com to find a bunch of synonyms. May I also suggest reform and rearrange, Mr. Schwab? Tell us what you would name the Great Reset in the comments below.
What we want to do in Davos this year in this respect is to push the reset button. Let me explain. The world is much too much still caught in a crisis management mode. And we forget that we should take now into our hands and we should look for solutions for the really fundamental issues. We should look at our future in a much more constructive, in a much more strategic way. And that's what Davos is about.
The only thing missing from this clip is a fluffy white cat sitting on Klaus's lap while he pets it ominously. So very ominously. So why are platforms such as BBC, Reuters, and Twitter trying to claim that Schwab's Great Reset is a recent invention? when we have evidence that Klaus has been planning a reset since long before the pandemic. One reason may be that Schwab and the World Economic Forum have started investing in crisis-relevant technology. What is crisis-relevant technology? Like the name suggests, it's a new technology that addresses a specific problem arising during a crisis. For COVID-19, contact tracing apps are crisis-relevant since they are responding to a problem very specific to this particular environment. In previous eras, crisis-relevant medical technology has taken the form of flu vaccines, penicillin, and blood plasma transfusions, all of which were standardized and mass-produced during World War II. Often, crisis-relevant technology is assimilated into daily life after the crisis has passed. The device you're watching this video on is the descendant of calculating machines from the Second World War. You may know the story from Imitation Game with Benedict, what's his name?
Here are your best answers. Bandicoot Splish and Splash, Bendersnatch Creamsicle, Benedonald Cumbertrump, Bacon Dick Pumpkin Patch, Benny Dick Dick, Benacouch Comfortable, Benedese Cumbernuts, ugh, I don't like that one.
So, what technology does Schwab have his eye on? How is he going to build his secretive empire? He's most interested in digital health passports and contact tracing apps. Schwab has invested money into projects such as Common Pass, which serves as a digital health passport. However, our Truth Duel investigative reporters learned that Klaus didn't want to put all his eggs into one basket. In fact, he had the WEF make their own app called COVID Pass. Come on, Klaus, that's not a very catchy name. Blofeld had Spectre. You could do better than a measly movie villain. How about COVID Update Monitor? Or COVID Update National Tracker? However, that begs the question, where does it end with these apps? Will they only be used as health passports, or will they be rolled into a larger program, something like China's social credit score? And if Klaus is operating outside of democratically elected governments, who is there to stop him? Perhaps the best way to survive Klaus's dystopic utopia is not to fight it, but to profit off of it, improvise, adapt, and overcome. And if there's one thing Bear Grylls is good at doing, it's eating bugs. Surely he will survive in the upcoming Klaustopia. In fact, he may even become a celebrity chef, teaching us peons how to have nothing and like it. Scratch that, Bear Grylls will teach us how to own nothing, have no privacy, eat bugs, and like it. Life has never been better in Klaustopia. Misinformation wishes you well and says that the video is over, Mr. Bond, and we're expecting that it has pleased and amused you. P.S. Why are Klaus Schwab and the WEF so interested in climate change?
But I just see the need for such a dialogue, and I see the need for action. I see the need for a great reset.
Until next time, make sure to like our video, subscribe to our channel, and become a truth dueler, or Klaus will lower your social credit score.